So you're singing with Whitesnake for a while.
Yeah, I did a lot of keyboard work, and I actually sang a lot. And David was not really hiding that, because when we would do Slide It In was the second in the set. It was like a trade-off. He would sing, you talk too much. I would sing, never say what's on your mind. So we would just trade off parts. Then the next song, he would let me do like all the ad-libs. And in Burn, me and Michele, the other keyboard player, were doing all the bridges. So it was like he calls it Whitesnake Orchestra, because you had two proper singers that were also part of band. Joel Hoekstra sings. Red Beach is actually a great singer as well.
Yes.
And Tanya would sing a little bit, so everybody was singing on stage.
Good.
So I really had a good time, and David is my biggest hero, so I had a really great time with him.
And you're still there with him?
Well, officially I am, but to be honest with you, I'm not sure what's going on with the band right now. David announced that he's doing another album.
Okay.
So I was afraid to ask him, what am I gonna do or not do? But besides that, it's like happy birthday, Merry Christmas. How is it going?
Nice.
He's always sharing everything I do. He shared the Home Gods Destroy video on his Twitter, and he's just very supportive and a great guy. And it was surreal, meeting him. And then the next day, Slash came to our rehearsal, and I was like, what is going on? It's insane, especially for a guy that comes from a little country like myself.
Yeah.
Having all these legends. It's like,
we know how he feels, right? I'm like that, I'm a little bit of, I get shy and weird when I see my idols just in front of me.
I got shy when I first joined TSO, when I saw, Jeff Scott Soto and Russell Allen and all these guys. I was like, damn, these are all people that influenced me. But then with time you get more comfortable. Johnny Depp was probably the coolest guy I met.
Serious? Tell me a story.
We played a festival 2022 with Jeff Beck and Johnny Depp. My guitar player, he's in Brazil here with me, and I hear a lot of noise. There's Zach Wilde sitting on the next table. There's Beth Hart there, and I was like, hey, I think Johnny's here. He's like, let's go and meet Johnny. I said, let's not bother the guy. There's millions of fans that want to see Johnny. He needs some peace. And our booking agent, who also did Jeff Beck tours and Steve Vai, and he also did some football transfers, like he did Ramos for Real Madrid, some crazy stuff.
Okay.
And he said, go and you gotta meet Johnny. And I said, and here I'm standing in line with Mickey D, Klaus Meine, and they're all standing in line to meet Johnny Depp. And I see an organizer, and he's like, you want to meet Johnny? I said, my guitar wants to meet Johnny. I don't want to bother the guy. And he said, he needs to know who you are. Like, let me do a little intro. I said, don't do this, please. I just want to shake his hand and go. And he tells his manager, this guy's in Whitesnake, and he does this. He's the next big thing in rock, blah blah blah. And I told my guitar player, if he asks, you're also in Whitesnake, so that's the only way we're gonna get in. So Johnny turns around, and he's the most humble, nice guy ever. And and he leaves everybody. He talks to us for like 2 minutes. And I said, listen, I don't want to bother you. Is it possible to get just a little photo with you? Oh, sure. So, we hug each other. There's a light like this, and my dad is taking photo of us with a flashlight on. And I'm thinking, holy crap, no, Dad, come on, turn off the flashlight. And I'm like, I'm saying hurry up in Croatian. I'm like, požuri. And so Johnny's like, he's like, so what does požuri mean? He's like, because he's been listening to me like, požuri, and he's like, what does požuri mean? And the photo was kind of shitty, but I have a photo with Johnny Depp, and he's a very nice guy.
That's nice. That's a cool story.
He's so nice that all the people, like, we have not a big scene in Croatia, but there's a lot of people that have egos, and I never really understood people with egos, because the bigger you get, you should be more humble, because you're happier, I guess. Well, it can go a different way. Maybe you get more depressed.
Sometimes it's not a matter of ego, it's a matter of being bothered, trying to have some peace, because I don't believe that an arrogant attitude from a famous person is like constant. Maybe on that very day, on that very time,
maybe he had a bad day.
Yeah,
maybe he had a bad day. That's true.
But him, I heard stories that he's nice to people.
I'm telling you.
Nice.
And then he played a show with Jeff Beck. It was right after the court ended with whatever the name is of his ex-wife. I'm really bad.
Oh, Amber Heard.
Amber Heard.
The shitter.
That's right. The shitter. So
Bad pooper.
yeah, so we're standing next to the stage, me and my guitar player, and Beth Hart is on the left. So Johnny is exiting the stage with all this security, and he sees us, and he comes after the show. He hugs it like, was it cool? I'm like, are you really was this a real? Of course it was great. You don't have to do anything. He just has to come out and just be cool. And then he played Lil Wing and sang some Jimi Hendrix. And he said, I got to go to the bus, get some rest. He was so nice, man. So we were, I never get like a starstruck or something, but we were laying in bed and my guitar player says, he's like, man, after I met Johnny, nobody deserves to have an ego after this guy. Because we met a lot of people that didn't do much, but they're like, show-offs.
Yeah.
And after meeting this guy, it really humbles you.
That's nice.
He has that thing that Keith Jarrett also has. Like but Keith Jarrett is not particularly humble, but like
okay.
But they don't see the things that they do. Like Keith Jarrett doesn't listen to his own albums, and Johnny Depp doesn't watch.
Okay.
Yeah, he doesn't watch his own movies.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't watch his own movies. He said that Jay Leno asked him.
Yeah.
And
it was like,
he said, "Why don't you watch?" He's like, "I have nothing to do with that. It's out." which is kind of
nice.
It's kind of cool. I mean, I think Keanu Reeves is like that.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think Keanu Reeves is the same. Richie Kotzen is really good friends with him.
Okay.
And he told me that Keanu Reeves is like the best guy.
Yeah, looks cool too.
I mean, and he's humble. He's going into Metro. He's not one of those. He's just a normal guy that does.
Let me ask you
abnormal
this.
stuff.
But he is new. He is new. He's the
Yeah.
number one of the Matrix. So